Hello, good morning everybody. How are you today? We're excited again to be here with you. I know it's not my normal day, but I switched with Miss Alexa. So Vivi and I are here and it's been a fun week talking about outer space. Miss Andrea kicked it off with the rocket launch that went to outer space to bring some astronauts up to do some work at the space station. So that was super fun. Excuse me. Miss Melissa's experiment, I don't know if anyone tried her experiment.
But we did, and the cork got stuck in the bottle, and it popped out, and now it's stuck in the bottle.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. So Miss Melissa's experiment with the bottle and the rocket ship, it was so much fun. We laughed a lot. It was interesting. And then we ended up getting the cork stuck, and it blew up, and we had a lot of fun. So we got more vinegar so we can keep trying it. I don't know if I can see my comments. Here we go. Let me see. Sorry. Good morning, Miss Andrea, Tommy and Olivia. Hi, Austin and Dustin. Good morning. Welcome. So we're going to continue to finish this week off talking about space. We're going to do a little picture walk through a book, and then Vivi's going to show you a little activity. So I didn't want to read the entire book, but there's lots of good stuff in it. And I wanted to talk about the release of our butterflies last weekend. So I saved this to show you. This is where the caterpillars went inside their chrysalis. So this is where they hatched out of. Just so you could see, I saved it. Good morning, Baron. So here's where they hatch. I want everyone to be able to see what they left behind. And I wanted to make a correction because all my years of teaching, especially teaching about butterflies, I've always said proboscis, which is the long tongue, but that's not how you say it. So it's proboscis. So I wanted to make that correction. But who knew? I learn something new every day, just like you. Hi, Charlotte. Good morning. I just saw you the other day. So I'm going to put those aside, and we're going to talk about space. So I have a really cool book. Vivi will be my helper at some point. She likes to read. So this is called My Book of Space. So think about everything you've been learning all week about space. I know we did some rocket ship stuff, so there is cool pictures of rocket ships in here. But I'm going to just talk a little bit about the planets that are in outer space. So does anyone know where we live? What planet we live on? Where do we live? Yeah, on the Earth. And that's a planet, and we're floating around in space. So this is called My Book of Space. So you can see. And like I said, we're not going to read the whole thing. We're going to take a picture walk. So the solar system, and if you can see, we have the sun, and then there's some other planets that are all lined up. This one's closest to the sun, and here's where we are, Earth. And here, look how big the sun is. And here's Earth. And here are other planets. Look how big they are compared to the Earth. Yeah, so the solar system's made up of the sun and all the objects that circle or orbit around. So orbit is circling around the sun, because that's what we do. And this includes planets and their moons. Hi, Chrissy. And there's 8 planets in the solar system, including Earth. So let's count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 planets. All right, so look at that picture. That's the sun. It's hot. The sun is very hot, and we know that because it makes us feel hot when it's out. So the sun is a ball of hot, bright, burning gas, and it's the nearest star to the Earth. So did you know that the sun is actually a star? Yeah. And it's the closest to the Earth. The sun provides Earth with light and warmth. So look at that cool picture of the sun. The sun is in the middle, and all the other planets are orbiting or circling around. Mercury is another planet. Look at that cool planet. Mercury is the planet nearest to the sun. It's the smallest planet in the solar system. So you can see they compared it. There's Earth. Oops, and there's Mercury. And it's different colors, right? because the Earth is made up of a lot of water. It doesn't have an atmosphere. So Venus, here's Venus, looks a little bit different than Mercury, is the second planet from the sun, and it's the hottest planet in the solar system. So you can see the sun setting here, and look, you can see Venus kind of shining. So when you go outside, sometimes you can see planets that are closer to us. Venus is about the same size as Earth, but look at the difference. See what Venus looks like? And see the Earth? And the Earth, the blue is the water. You can see the land, and there's some clouds. So there's Venus. Here's the Earth. The Earth is the third planet from the sun. It's the only planet where we know life exists. This is where we live, and we are life, right? We're humans. Earth is hot on the inside, but cool on the surface. So if you could see inside the Earth all the way to the middle, it's a really hot core. Core is the center. Our cores are our bellies, right? That's the center. Earth is a rocky planet covered by dry land, deep oceans, and frozen ice caps. It's surrounded by a layer of air called the atmosphere. So that's what's around us. Earth spins around the sun once every 24 hours, and the side facing the sun has daytime and the other side has nighttime. So did you know we're orbiting, or we're spinning around the sun every day? We go around once a day. So right now it's daytime. The part of our planet is closer to the sun, and then at nighttime, the part of our planet is further from the sun, so the sun goes down and it's dark. So that's where we live, the Earth. The moon. Look at the moon. So many of you have seen the moon. When you look up tonight, look for the moon. The moon is a rocky ball about a quarter of the Earth's size, and it circles the Earth once every 28 days. And there's no weather on the moon. So look at how the moon looks compared to the Earth. And here, this is a phase of the moon called a crescent moon. Have you ever seen it like this? Kind of looks like a little thumbnail. At nighttime when the moon is shining, it's not always a big, bright, full moon. Sometimes it's just a piece of moon, and that's called a crescent moon. So tonight, when it gets dark, if you're still awake and you go outside, I want you to look up at the moon. But never look at the sun because it's too bright and it'll hurt your eyes. Mars is another planet. It's rocky red planet about half the size of the Earth, and it's the fourth planet from the sun. So wow, look at that. It's kind of reddish. And they send robots known as Mars rovers have been known to explore Mars, and they take pictures and send videos back to scientists so we can learn more about Mars. So there's a robot because we can't be on Mars. There's no air. Here's Jupiter. That one looks really pretty to me. See how there's lines that go around? It's the fifth planet from the sun, and it's the biggest planet in the solar system. And it has more than 63 moons. We only have one moon. They have more than 63 moons, this planet. Jupiter is a gas giant with no solid surface. So solid, remember we've talked about that before, is hard. So there's no hard surface. It's just gas, like a bunch of air. Okay. Saturn. Saturn is the sixth planet from the sun. Let me see. Sometimes I miss people. Saturn is the sixth planet from the sun, and it's surrounded by wide rings and has more than 60 moons. And its biggest moon is called Titan. So look at these rings. See them that go around? They're made of millions of lumps of ice. So it doesn't look like it, but this is what it looks like if you were up close. So these rings that go around Saturn are made of millions of little things of ice. Uranus is the seventh planet from the sun, and it takes 84 years to travel once around the sun. 84 years it takes to go all the way orbit around the sun, and it only takes us one day. So, and it has, it's covered with craters, which are like holes, and grooves and cliffs. Oh no, that was its moon, Miranda. Let me see here. Neptune. Ooh, this is a pretty one. Neptune is the farthest planet from the sun. It takes Neptune 165 years to travel around the sun. The huge dark area right here is a storm in its atmosphere, so it's a stormy planet. Its streaky white clouds appear bright against the planet's blue color. And there you go. It's pretty. And then we're going to skip a little bit around. I just wanted to show you some other things. So they are the planets, and we're going to make some planets. Here's some comets. So comets are city-sized chunks of ice and dirt, and they move around the sun following egg-shaped paths. So sometimes you can see comets flying through the sky. And I wanted to show you, some stars. So I know all of you have probably seen stars at night. Stars are large balls of hot burning gas, and they shine by burning gas to make heat and light. So remember, the sun is a big star. Our sun is a medium-sized yellow star, so it's not even one of the biggest stars in outer space. They come in many different colors and sizes. So you can see, although they all kind of look similar to us from here, they're very different and unique. And there's many different types of stars. And they can be found in clusters. So some stars are far away that they look like they're tiny little dots, and you can only see them at night. We're not going to do this one. And there's constellations, which are groups of stars that make patterns in the sky. So you can see they're like pictures that the stars make in the skies. And let's see what else. There's one other thing I wanted to show you. So telescopes are something that scientists use to see the outer space and the planets and the stars and help us learn more, because it makes things that are distant appear closer, and astronomers use them to study space. So these are really big telescopes that are used to zoom in on these stars and these planets so we can learn more about them, and that's how they learn so much. And some of you may have telescopes in your house that you use to look up at nighttime at the stars and the moon. They're not this big, but some of you might have some good ones. And this is what Miss Andrea showed us the other day, the rocket ship that launched and landed in outer space at the space station. You can see it taking off. And one last thing, our astronauts. So I know we saw them in the space station working. They're people who have been into space, and only a few hundred people have ever been into space, so not many. And you can see them working. There's no gravity, so they have to be attached, and they need to wear masks for breathing or helmets. There's no gravity, so they can't, there's nothing holding them down, and this makes simple tasks like washing your hair very difficult. So they have to wear protective spacesuits when they leave their aircraft. And you can see them in their spacesuits, so they're protected. All right, so that was just a little bit about our planets and astronomers, right, that look up and help us, scientists that teach us about or learn about the stars and the outer space and the planets, and then the astronauts that go and do some work there to teach us a little bit more. So we are going to do a little activity with planets, and it's paint, a little bit of paint, and a box and some marbles or balls, whatever you have. So we're going to show you. Vivi's going to be my helper, of course. Let me see how to flip this around. Hold on. Okay, so we're going to set this up here. So you can see Vivi kind of made one already. You cut some circles. If your kids can cut, let them cut the circles. You can draw a circle. You can do hand over hand. If they can't cut, feel free to cut it for them. And we just got a box, sorry, so you can see the box. We don't really have any marbles, so we used a little ball. You can use whatever you want. There's no right or wrong way. We tape them down, and then you're gonna squirt some paint, any colors you want. It doesn't really matter. And then you're gonna have so if you let your kids squirt the paint, that's good for squeezing and their fine motor skills. And then they're gonna roll the box around, so the balls roll around to paint the planets. And it can be any color. Roll it all around. See how that's working there? And you can use anything. I almost got some little cars out because I couldn't find any small balls. So you can really use anything that will roll around and paint. And it can be covered, it cannot be covered. And then what you're gonna do, good job, thank you. You can put it down now and we'll finish it in a little bit. So here's the one she made earlier. You can leave it there, Vivi, it's okay. Just leave it. So if you want to take it out, take it out. And then you can glue it on or tape it on to a piece of paper. It can be any color. We used black, kind of like outer space. We taped it. You can use glue if you'd like. Yeah, it's okay. Let it dry. It's okay. And another thing you can add are some stars. So we have star stickers. This is a really good fine motor activity. So this one, I peeled the back part off, if you can see. Miss Tracy said hi. Hi, Miss Tracy. Hi, Tori and Tegan. So you can see I peeled the black part off. So this is something I would give to Vincenzo because he's smaller and he could pick these stickers off easier than these stickers. So Vivi's going to put some stickers on the paper to make our solar system. But this is good. If your kids can pick the stickers, they might need help sticking them on the paper, and that's fine. They can connect the stars with lines, with crayons. So there's lots of different things you can do. You can use star cookie cutters to do Play-Doh. So you can just see kind of how this would work. And however they want to make it, there's no right or wrong way. So you just need paint, stickers if you have them, or you can draw them. You can cut them out. And when it's done, you take it out, you glue it on the paper, and there's your solar system. She's making one big star. All right, so that's it that we have for you today. Let me flip this around. Okay, I'll try to get set back up for you.
Look how cool.
All right, you want to bring it over? She did like a triple double star. Here, I'm going to show everyone. She layered her stars. So like we said in the book, there's stars are all different shapes and sizes and colors, although we can't really tell.
That's what I made mine pink.
So that's why she made hers that way. So you can make your own solar systems. I would love to see pictures of them. And if anyone does Miss Melissa's rocket experiment, please go back and look at it on YouTube. It's so much fun, and you will laugh a lot. Just be careful because that cork can fly anywhere.
Yes.
We're going to attempt it again today. So I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about space. And hope you have a great weekend. And we will all be back here again next week. And we miss you and love you. And have a great weekend. Do you want to say goodbye? Bye.
Bye.